everyone. What's the difference between a king and an emperor? It may seem arbitrary. There are probably different groups of people that come to mind when you think of kings and emperors. Our story begins with the Romans. The Romans had a word for people whose power were direct and passed from father to son. We call them kings. Their word was rex. For most of their history, the Romans didn't have a king. They are a republic. If a ruler gained much power, he needed to pretend he wasn't the king. Julius Caesar pretended he was the king, and look what happened. The rulers of Rome after that were called two things: imperator, meaning commander since they were military commanders, or Caesar, which was their family name. The Roman name system was different from the modern naming system, and this could be a subject for a previous video. After the Western Roman Empire fell, the leaders of the Eastern Roman Empire were still called Caesar, but the word emperor evolved to refer to more than that. In Europe, it referred to the leader of Rome, and outside of Europe, it referred to as important as the leaders of most people were as the leaders of Rome were to Europeans. The Ottomans called themselves Kaiser-i Rum, and the leaders of Russia, starting with Ivan the Terrible, were called Caesar or Tsar. Charlemagne claimed to lead a successor to the Western Roman Empire, and he called himself Kaiser. The rulers of Germany were called that up until World War I. Meanwhile, in English, imperator evolved into emperor, and Caesar, or as we started pronouncing it, Caesar, became reserved to the Romans who held that title. This worked well until Napoleon declared himself the Emperor of the French. Evan, the leader of Austria, called himself Kaiser von Österreich. Queen Victoria called herself the Empress of India. And when Brazil became independent from Portugal, the leader called himself Imperador do Brasil. After World War II, democracy became a worldwide phenomenon. And to these days, only the ruler of Japan is called emperor, but there are still a lot of historical entities called empires, and the people who ruled them emperors, mostly because they were big and they called themselves Imperator or Kaiser, or words derived from them, or because they ruled powerful territories. Bye.